Gelsomina en los altos manicomios blancos. Aquel fue sin duda un sitio de poder para Gelsomina, no porque hubieran brillado allí con todo esplendor su elocuencia y su aura luminosa, no porque hubiera entrado con la frente descubierta, la mirada altiva y el cetro de la emperatriz en la mano. My name is Margarita Mateo Palmer. I was born in Havana, Cuba, where I have lived all my life. I have been teaching Caribbean and Latin American literature for more than 40 years. Now I am retired, so I have enough time to do my own work. The best thing, I believe, is that we have a very important literary tradition. Since my childhood, I have been dealing with those great authors, great poets, and I think that it's good to have such a literary heritage background when you start to write. On the other hand, I think that in my country, literature is very respected as an important part of Cuban culture. We have many different literary events, literary awards, competition, prizes. We have an international book fair that is held every year. I believe it's the most important cultural event that takes place in the country. Thousands of people go to the fair, whole families, the children buy their books. It is held in a old fortress of Havana, so there is grass all around, people lie there to read. So I think that as a writer, my work is respected, acknowledged, appreciated. And the worst thing is that you cannot make a living on writing. It's very difficult. We are a poor, underdeveloped country. We have lack of many things, and writers have a hard time in dealing with that reality. You have to find one or two jobs in order to be able to then have some time for your writing. Well, I think the best thing about my country is its people and its culture. I believe that the two things go very close, are very tightly close. Cuban people are very friendly. They are sharing, they are supportive, solidary, extroverted. They have a very strong sense of humor. They enjoy life, or at least love to enjoy life, because there are some times when you cannot enjoy it, but they are regretful if they cannot enjoy life. And Cuban culture, I think, is very rich. It is one of the most important things about it for me. It's its diversity, because it goes, for example, from the ballet dance, that is a classical dance that is very popular. The Ballet National Theater is always crowded. It's very difficult to get the tickets, not because they are expensive, but because they are sold out very quickly. And at the same time, we have a lot of important popular manifestations, for example, music, dancing. We have the Havana Biennial of Arts. It's a gorgeous moment in Havana. The works of arts invade the streets, go beyond the museums. We have jazz festivals, musical festivals, carnivals. There are many important cultural expressions that I really do appreciate a lot. I think it's a need, Natasha. I think I started writing. Well, I have been writing all my life, but publishing only essays, because it was more like part of my work, being a professor, academic life, and so I wrote many books of essays, which I enjoyed a lot writing. But at some point, fiction started making its way through the essays I was writing, and then I started not to let it backward, but to accept that I love to write fiction, and I started doing it. At first, it came within the same essays, but at one point I was writing a text on Caribbean poetry about the islands, about the Caribbean islands, and I started writing fiction. And at some point I said, well, this is not a book of essays, this is a novel, and oh, it was great to at last say, I am a fiction writer, not only a non-fiction writer. The text I am thinking of has already been translated. In fact, it is a classical, a masterpiece of Latin American literature. I am referring to Paradiso by José Lezama Lima. And I think of it as a very important book because it was a very extremely important experience for me to read that book, to work it as part of my doctoral, my PhD thesis at one time. I believe that the most important things I have apprehended from Lizama is his overwhelming creativity. He's a writer without borders. He has an absolute freedom of expression. It doesn't matter if it's erotics, politics. He just, you feel that there's a man writing that cannot put a limit on what he needs to say, even though sometimes you don't understand complete paragraphs. But he was, I believe, the most important experience for me as a writer, even though I love many other writers. I think that the state should support financially literature. I believe that if the state doesn't do that, we will be reading very bad literature, literature that sells quickly, but it's not good literature. I believe that literature is an art that requires financial support, financial aid, and I believe that the state should do that work, not only giving money to publishing houses, economic support to cultural center for competitions, activities. It's a wide range of things that the state, I believe, should support financially. But at the same time, I believe that it is like that financially. I believe that those publishing houses, those cultural institutions are the ones who have to decide what to publish, what awards or prizes give. I believe they should have, of course, their own independent cultural policy. Well, I believe everything has been surprising for me here in Iowa, even though I have been a lot of times in the United States. But in any other city or part of the United States, I have felt that literature is so respected and taken into account as it is here. I believe that Iowa is not a literary city by chance. I believe that there are a lot of things that say it is a city of literature. The bookstores, the libraries, the readings, the people going, attending the readings, hearing, very attentive to all the things writers read in those meetings, the literary walk. All around you feel that literature is something important for these people and its inhabitants. And in a very special way, I have been, I don't know how to say it, well, highly amazed, let's say that word, by the IWP program because it's so well thought, programmed, the different activities we have, the workshop. It's really a very important work, the one you are doing with the IWP. And for me as a writer, it's a great experience to be participating in such a diversity of activities, diversity of activities, and at the same time having the time to know about other works, literary works that are done in the whole the world around, because we are now 34, all of different countries. It's an amazing experience.